Danny, how should Bears fans feel about the loss?
With the regular caveat of if you bring up the 1991 terrible loss, Louds is going to throw something at you.
He's going to hate my graphic that I'm going to get to in a second. And this is me not caring.
Yeah.
He asked me a question. I'm going to answer it.
Yeah.
Bears fans, if they feel like I do today, should feel as good about that loss as one can possibly feel about a loss. In fact, I will go a step further and say it is probably my favorite loss in the history of watching the Bears. Yeah.
Because a few weeks ago, the other Caleb
that
interception, you loved that one, too.
That was a fine loss, too. It was just to the Packers, so that one still hurt.
You're just over the moon in general because they're making the playoffs.
It's not.
Because a former Mr. Irrelevant cooked y'all.
We'll get to.
You feel good about that?
Brew, we'll get to that.
I'm just saying.
I got problems with the Bears defense. We'll get to that. The Bears do not win and are not competitive in shootouts. My entire life. They've never had a good offense. They won a game earlier this year, 47-42. This is the most points they've scored in a loss since 2013. And before that, you got to be born in the 1940s to remember a time. They have a coach and a quarterback. So you guys can ask me how I feel about a loss. I would ask you all, how should the rest of the league feel? Because the Bears have Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams.
What if your defense was great? We talked about
then
this
they
earlier.
would be the favorites to win the Super Bowl.
The defense was great. No, the defense was great, but the offense was struggling.
I've seen that movie 25 times in my life. That's my point, is that the Bears always have a good defense. And it's like, hey, if the offense could just score 24, they'd make the playoffs. Now, it's an offensive league. You need to have a quarterback. You need to have a play caller in order to win consistently in the NFL.
You need a defense, too, though.
All right.
No.
Right. So
that's
hold on.
How's that working out for the Bengals and the Cowboys?
So this is where I disagree with you. Because I think the jury's in on, is Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams' partnership going to work? I think we knew that before yesterday. So this is why I disagree with you about this season's Bears. Because I think Caleb obviously has superstar traits, and Ben Johnson has raised his floor to where he is going to be the best Bears quarterback of any of our life.
He is going to win an MVP.
Okay, well, maybe. I'm just saying that, and I would bet that he will. But I'm saying what I think we all would agree on.
Sure.
I think everyone would agree that even if you think Ben Johnson can get a touch too cute at times, he has proven himself in his first year as a head coach. The job's not too big for him. He is a floor raiser. The Bears' offense is here as a legitimate, factor in the NFC. But I felt that way before last night. So the reason I don't think you should be quite as happy as you appear to be is I think what Brew's point is, which is if you're talking about the Bears this season, playing up to their seed, which if they're going to be the 2 seed, means making the conference championship game, not losing a home playoff game, much less making a Super Bowl, man, that defense has to be better. Yep. And that, to me, is what last night shined a bright light on, that even in a game that they start with a pick 6, holy moly, that defense got gashed by a Niners team that I know has been rolling, but only it has Christian McCaffrey and Purdy's playing the best ball of his, playing great. But
it's Kyle Shanahan, and
no
it's on
number one receiver, really.
No doubt.
Listen, missing their tight end.
The Bears' defense is bad. It has been opportunistic, and they've had a ton of takeaways. And Tremaine Edmonds was out there, Montez Sweat was out there, Jalen Johnson was out there. Their best players, their highest paid players were out there. So I can't even use injuries as an excuse, which has been a thing on the Bears defense at times this year. Bears defense is bad. I'm not running from it. I just have a hard time when Caleb Williams, since November, is playing like a absolute top 10 quarterback. I can't get that upset about it. I really can't. He's 6th in yards, 3rd in wins with the 2nd best touchdown to interception ratio. He's had 4 games with a passer rating over 100 and 4 fourth-quarter comebacks. It's an offensive league. Like maybe the defense this year prevents them from winning a Super
We're
Bowl.
talking about this year, maybe.
Okay, but they're ahead of schedule. They weren't supposed to be here. Almost no one here even picked them to be in the playoffs. So they're going to be the 2 or the 3 seed in the NFC with their coach and their quarterback and a defense that is going to get takeaways. So is it a perfect team? Obviously. But we've spent all day, I've been watching the whole show. This team is flawed. This team is flawed. This team.
Right.
Yeah, the Bears defense isn't good. Point conceded. But Caleb Williams is so good and playing so well, they can still do damage.
You said something else Friday.
What'd I say?
You were asked if you guaranteed that Caleb Williams would outplay
Well,
Brock
number 1
Purdy.
seed versus. I
Yeah,
thought
it's a
again that was.
first-round
I did
pick,
say that, yeah.
Generational first-round pick
Yeah.
and Mr. freaking irrelevant.
Yeah.
What do you have to say now?
Well, he had,
'Cause it
more,
is-
he had more passing yards. He didn't have any
Did
turnovers.
he outplay?
He didn't have any
Did he
turnovers.
outplay Brock Purdy?
No, he did not.
He did it. Thank you for your honesty.
Wow.
He did not. He didn't outplay him.
Thank
But
you for
Nick
your
promised me that my
How-
guarantees
All
were
right,
not allowed.
Brock,
in my
Brock
hands.
outplayed him. Brock outplayed him.
By a little.
Caleb was really good.
Caleb was great.
But Brock outplayed him. That's all.
Listen, I think Brock played as well as one can play in a game that starts with a pick six. Like that's not even supposed to be backhanded. What I'm saying is like whatever your ceiling grade can be for a game, that the first play you throw a pick six, Brock gets it. Yep. Like he threw for 300 yards, the two rushing touchdowns were real rushing touchdowns.
Not gimme touchdowns.
Right. They were, and I care about
Purdy
that.
was
I know
great.
I'm not supposed to. But KW, there does have to be some. I don't know what Danny's talking about. This whole Nick told me this, that, or he went on TV, made a big deal. It was he guaranteed something,
We didn't have
and
any
it didn't
stakes to it,
happen.
did we?
I mean, I don't know.
We're going to
he
dinner for the
wouldn't go,
Shador
but
bet.
yeah,
We do
tomorrow.
have. Listen, I'm just
Seafood
going to
Tower.
throw the.
Be a
There it
gentleman.
is. That's what I was going
Be
to
a
say.
gentleman.
You and I always have the
Get the
same
Seafood
ideas.
Tower.
Wait,
You have to
he has
call.
to pay?
He has
Yes.
to pay.
No, just the Seafood Tower.
Just for the Seafood
Oh,
Tower.
he's been talking
This
about that
whole-
Seafood
this
Tower
whole-
since we
here's
made
the
it.
Better than
deal.
guaranteed.
This is an outrage.
No, just be a gentleman.
You guys are assigning stakes
I did not
to
say
a
this.
bet?
No,
Seafood
I did
Tower.
not say
No,
this, Danny.
it wasn't a bet. I mean, you guaranteed it.
I did
You
get
you
didn't have to
guarantee that
guarantee
does
it.
mean
You said I guarantee you had
I'll
all
tell you
these
this right now.
opportunities.
I'm going to pout.
I'm gonna pound it
I
down.
don't mind. But
You know what?
Look, I lost the bet. I'll pay for it.
Brew,
That's a man of
since
integrity right
he
there.
guaranteed it and won't pay the Seafood Tower, I will pay for the Seafood Tower.
No,
on his behalf.
no.
Same draft class. Caleb and Craig, same draft class. I will pay for it.
Before we move on, KW, can I ask one other question about this game?
Yeah.
Or no? Do we have to move on?
We can do whatever you want. It's
Okay.
overtime. There's no rules here. We're not like the Bills. We don't want to go
Do
to
you
overtime.
guys think it's fair to say this? Every single concern we just levied about the Bears for this season applies to the team that won that game.
Yes.
Well,
I don't think their defense is quite as bad as the Bears.
we
'cause
thought
if the
Salah
Bears
would-
didn't get takeaway, like that game, look, who knows how it would have gone. But theoretically, it's not as close if they don't get that pick six.
No, of course.
No.
And so I think the Bears defense, because they get the takeaways, that saves them a little
But
bit.
the Niners
but I
defense
think the Niners
never
is better.
sacks the quarterback.
Yeah.
They average one
It's a
sack
bad
a
defense.
game.
It's a problem.
And Salah, I still think Salah deserves credit for making lemonade adjacent stuff from lemons.
Right.
But I think what we have seen is against good offenses and good schemes and good quarterbacks, they don't have the horses. So this speaks to your wide open NFC component of it. I don't think it's fair to be like the Bears fall down massively because of the defense when the Niners, to me, have the
that's
exact
true.
same issue.
Yeah, I said it multiple times last week. I thought it was going to be a race to 30 and the game was going to be a shootout, and it was a race to 40. Like every team, the Seahawks, can Sam Darnold win a big game? Philly, can they complete a pass? The Bears, can they stop anyone? The Niners, can they stop anyone?
The Rams are the only
Packers-
team that feels like, and they're going to be on the road the whole time.
And they're going to be on the road the whole way. Like the NFC, we talk about the
it's
AFC
open.
is wide open. The NFC is wide open.
They're
I think there's
both wide
11 teams right now with 11 or more wins, which I showed you guys last week, the most ever at this point of a season. Like it's
But you're
wide
in
open.
it feels like you're in a little bit of house money territory with your fandom for the Bears. Not your
Yes.
analysts, but like
Yes.
your fandom for the Bears.
That's
Like,
what
it's
his
all
whole-
good. Get some
Wow.
experience.
Hold on.
This season has been an A+.
That's
Can I
right.
tell you though?
A+.
Hold on.
Don't do it.
No,
I
it's
know what you're gonna
100%
do.
true.
I know what you're gonna
It's
do.
been an A+. He's in house money. Ben Johnson, we let him get away with this in the walk-in video. The league should be scared of Ben Johnson, Caleb, for the next decade.
That's right.
All of it.
That's true.
Here is the only way this season could ever go to just disaster and pain. If the best Bears season in a quarter century, with the best offense and the best coach and the best quarterback and the best seed,
Don't even say it.
ends by the Green Bay Packers
That's right.
going into Soldier Field in the 2-7 matchup
That would be
we
bad.
are
Don't think-
getting.
Are you saying
And
that's not possible?
and
Oh,
no,
very
No. That's not what I'm saying.
He's saying it would ruin everything.
Just run all over him.
It would
Really?
It would ruin everything.
It would be an emotional disaster.
I
Ruin
get that it
everything.
would be emotional and all that because it's a rival from your guys'
That's
side.
all you need to know.
But you still would feel great about this team.
Of course,
going
but I
forward.
would think about that loss
Forever.
For the
If
entire
the
year.
9-win
might
Packers
happen.
come to town,
That
It's
might
the
happen.
cheese grater hat.
I know.
It's a little bit too much.
it's
honestly.
the whole
No,
thing.
you like them.
I like them, but they're a little much.
It's-
No, listen,
man.
but the flip side of it is beat the Packers, and Ben Johnson, who said I enjoy beating Matt LaFleur twice a year, he gets to beat him twice.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Bring on the Packers.
It feels
don't
like
want
he's playing.
Bring 'em on.
It feels like Danny's playing with more house money than you. And
Yes,
it's the same
I
situation.
used to
I
be
don't know
like
why.
that in like week 6. I'm like, oh man, we're really good.
Right.
And then, but at this point, I have graduated back to
No, you've gone past from
That's-
confidence, and now you're just teeming with arrogance.
the point I do not think
Anybody's
Drake
good
May
but the Patriots.
Well, I've watched the games. A lot of teams don't look like the Patriots.
Listen,
I have a new take I've been holding in my back pocket. We should have gone undefeated this year. Well, we should have. We should have gone undefeated.
You lost to the Raiders.
Exactly. We lost to the Raiders. We had 5 turnovers against the
The
Steelers.
Bills
and we
just
blew
went
a
to your
21-0
house and
lead.
made sandwiches.
Josh Allen went Superman mode too late as the Bills scored 12 points in the fourth quarter, but needed 2 more. Josh misses the 2-point conversion and delivers the AFC East to its rightful home in Foxborough, Massachusetts. All right, the Bills were your Super Bowl team, Danny. Did last night's game waver your confidence at all?
No, I mean, if Brew can believe in the Ravens when Tyler Huntley beats Malik Willis, I think I can still believe in the Bills with Josh Allen, who lost to a team that's been the best defense in football for the last 6 or 7 weeks, which is what happened. I mean, Philly's defense has been spectacular. So I don't know if we'll talk Eagles now or if we'll get to it later, but like, yeah, the Eagles defense I think should be as much of a story about that game as the Eagles offense. But listen, Josh Allen needs to make that throw. Yeah. It really is that, like, because I don't even mind the sack. It's a bad sack.
You don't mind the sack?
He
lost 25 yards in field goal range.
No, I know, but if
Right, it may not even get to this point.
But if all of our analysis on Josh Allen is he needs to be Superman, and he is trying to make a play as Superman, and it backfires, it's like that's like what you get. You know, you're going to get some of the bad in exchange for the good. That play was there. The 2-point conversion play, I think that they would take that exact scenario.
You think so? I didn't like how, I don't know.
No, it was
Felt like
there.
it's fading.
It was definitely there.
He's open. He's rolling left with throwing with your right hand, and it's a tough play. Like guys like Caleb Williams do it all the time. But I think Josh Allen makes that throw 9 times out of 10.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, Collinsworth thought so I'm sorry, it wasn't Collinsworth. It seemed like Brady thought so as well. That was.
So I
question.
think that you take it, and I will bet that Josh Allen connects in that spot 9 times out of 10. And if it was a playoff game or a Super Bowl, which this matchup could be, then he would connect and they'd win it.
Do you see a path forward to the Bills that happens without using the term Josh Allen Superman?
I think that was it yesterday. So that's why I find
Putting up 12 points?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if Josh Allen, and again, he didn't, and I agree with you entirely. Like, he has to make that pass. He missed that pass. I don't think any of us feel like there are any fundamental differences about the quality of the team if Josh throws a better pass there. We all know he can make that pass. I don't think we think he choked in that moment. Right. He made a bad play. Mm-hmm. If he does make that pass, then they just won a game with Josh Allen being Clark Kent the whole time. The defense.
2 touchdowns in the last 5 minutes.
I mean, if we parse it that way, fine. They would have won 14-13 against the Philadelphia Eagles because the defense shut the Eagles down for an entire half of football in a game that I think when, I thought the Bills were going to win. When we talked about it last week, the worry was the Bills' defense was going to get run all over. So I think the Bills, the quality of the team rose in my mind yesterday, but their path to a Super Bowl got so much harder because they have no shot at the division now, and they don't have a shot realistically at the 5 seed. And I think that if you're going to be the wild card this year, getting the 5 seed and going to Baltimore, going to Pittsburgh is so different than the spot they're going to be in playing it as the 6 or the 7, either Denver, Jacksonville, or New England, one of those 3 in round 1, and then being on the road the whole way. So I think the path got much harder, but I thought if you're a Bills fan and all year long, I think what you've been worried about is, man, are we going to have a game where Josh does go Superman and we lose anyway? Because the defense can't get him the ball back, because the defense can't get stops, something they saw happen to them in the 13 seconds game. I think yesterday gave you a little bit of confidence that that is less likely to happen, that the defense does have it in them to bow up and get stop after stop after stop. So that's why I thought you might have the surprising take today that, like, the Bills are scarier because of what they put on tape defensively yesterday.
They got less scarier to me, too. I mean, because we can't talk about how bad the Eagles' offense is and then give the Bears or the Bills a ton of credit for stopping them. I mean, like, the Bears haven't played a full game. The Bills haven't played a full game in a month, Danny.
Who has?
I mean, the Pats.
No, we played a bad half against the Bills.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Bills, they didn't look good against Cincinnati. They were fortunate with that win. They played a half against the Patriots. Yesterday, they played a half or 10 minutes, whatever you want to call it. And they struggled against the Browns.
Is it nothing to you guys that one half was enough to beat New England? That one half was this close to being enough to beat Philly? 2 teams that I think.
But that's when he goes nuclear. There's no stopping him when he puts his cape on and starts doing that stuff. There's no stopping him.
But you thought this is now the second time that, like, what I think is a regular Josh Allen game, you've called him going nuclear. What was the previous
I thought the
game?
second half against the Patriots.
The second half it was 5 straight.
No. The Patriots game obviously was. There was a different game we argued about where I didn't think Josh had this monster. He had 190 yards, but you guys told me it might have been the Bengals game. So I don't look at this game as Josh going nuclear.
No, he doesn't.
I thought that.
But it felt like there's a momentum in the building where it's like Josh scores, they get the ball back, he scores again. Here comes the 2-point conversion.
The only thing that would have me concerned about the Bills and Josh Allen is if he was lying about his foot after the game. Like, they said he got his X-ray and it was clean and his foot was 0% of an impact there. I don't know,
he's limping around.
He was limping around, exactly. Like you read the quote and he's like, it was 0%, and then you read the story, it's X-rays negative. But watching the game, it's like, I don't know. Like because if he's 90%, that matters.
I 100% agree with you. I also think the story that we haven't talked about all year, but now with them, because I haven't even thought about that it was possible that the Bills go one and done in the playoffs, and I still don't that's because I thought they're either going to catch New England, or they're going to be the 5 seed and just clip whoever the AFC North winner is.
If they get my Ravens.
Well, they can't get your Ravens. I shouldn't say they can't. I just don't think
they
can
get
up
4 or 5?
I don't know. I think they're basically now locked into the 6-7. Okay. And I think one and done is, if that happens, I think it's
the season's a disaster
for
if that
McDermott.
happens. Yeah,
and I think it's a problem for me.
Time now for a little edition of He Said, We Said. We listen to the best sound of the week, and we give you what we hope is the best analysis. First up, my guy Caleb Williams on the loss. The last play of the game that you're seeing right here was a problem. Like, they got the play call in late, the Niners only rushed 2, and there still was a free rusher. Like, that can never happen, right? Like, the end of game execution was sloppy. But man, The Bears have a quarterback, and they have a coach, and they can score points. And in an NFC that's going to have Sam Darnold potentially as the 1 seed, who's never won a big game, and the Eagles as the 3 seed, who just went a whole half of football for the second time this year, completing 0 passes, and a Packers team with no defense and big-time injuries, and on down the line, the Niners with no defense. Like, it's wide open. The Bears can win it. The Bears are dangerous, and it's because of their offense, and it's basically never in my life I could say that.
I'm just waiting for you to kind of expose the white elephant in the room.
Which is?
Their defense is horrible.
Yeah, the defense is not good.
And
it's not good.
It's not, but we've been kind of promoting them, and
they lead the league in
takeaways. Like they're, this is who they are defensively. Like you can't roll into January with that on your resume. And so as much as I love Caleb Williams, I love the fact that they're clutch. I love the fact that Luther Burden had a big game. They was able to rush for 110 yards. Great. Caleb threw for 300 yards. Cole Kmet, love him. Yada, 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 love him. But if you can't stop the run and you can't communicate on the back end, you're in trouble. And what kills me, Danny, I've sat next to you, and I've been touching this magic sauce that you've been stirring up in the Bears and calling them a team of destiny. Last night, all that went out the window.
Oh, stop.
Because I swore at least one point in this game, this Bears defense was going to stand up. I was praying for
they had a pick
Caleb
6 to start the
couldn't play
game.
any better.
No, granted, there was not magic at the end last night. I'm not going to defend their defense. They are number 1 in takeaways. But, hey, man, they scored 38 points. It's a dangerous offense.
Yeah. Look, I'm with Willie on this one. Like, the Bears they face 6 top 10 offenses, and they've allowed almost 30 points on average against those offenses.
Defense is not good.
And so defense, and we were talking about this off air, like with the names and with the players, the personnel that they have, you just wouldn't think that this defense would be that bad. Because Caleb, he's doing this part, this offense is coming alive with guys sidelined, with their number 1 receiver sidelined.
Big old throw on him.
And Caleb is starting to mature in his passing game, his reading progression. I mean, all the things that we were talking about with Ben. We sat down with Ben a couple times this season. All the things that we talked about Caleb actually being able to do and him talking about it is going to be a process. You see that process actually unfolding and revealing itself at the right time. And so this team is definitely a threat. However, I do want to remind everybody, they did lose. They did lose last night.
What?
So the team that they actually lost to is a threat.
We were able to confirm that is true. Here's Justin Herbert on facing that Texans defense. Do you guys think Justin Herbert and Phillip, do you think him and Phillip Rivers have like a text thread where they can just like console each other about terrible Chargers losses? Because I mean, that had everything. It had a brutal call at the end on the illegal contact on their defense, which denied Herbert a shot to win it. Cameron Dicker, who's been awesome all year.
He has been perfect.
Missed two easy kicks, an extra point, and a field goal.
Right.
It had multiple drops. I mean, my God. That's old school chargering.
I will give you this. I watched this game and I felt like, Danny, I'm hard on Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
A lot of times. And I feel like he's one of those quarterbacks that can cover up a lot of what you don't have. Obviously, why they're headed to the postseason. Yesterday, I kind of felt bad for Justin.
You felt bad for him. Yeah, me too.
Because he did everything in his possible power.
Welcome to the league.
To even put them in position to win that game.
Yeah, the problem for me is, the Chargers' first 15 got wiped off the table because, the Texans jumped up 14-zip on them, and they couldn't recover. They couldn't do nothing. The run game was non-existent. They had one explosive play down the field. Yeah, you're talking about Herbert having this Herculean effort, but at some point, they've kind of been this way throughout the year. They haven't quite righted the ship. So when you talk about who they are, this is who they are. You shut down the run, get after Herbert, good night Chargers. So I don't know how they recover from this, but the Texans look diddly, and the Chargers look like they did with Team Walking.
That is Justin Herbert's 10th game this year where he has been sacked multiple times and his receivers have multiple drops. The most
not good.
The most in the league. It's just they're just in a situation where offensively around him, he doesn't have enough help. And yes, it is largely due to injuries on their offensive line, but the guy is awesome. And I do think the Texans are the worst matchup in football for them because of Danielle Hunter and Will
Anderson,
Anderson, right? Like they have the best edge rush duo going up against the worst tackle duo. So I
13 sacks, then they're 13 sacks apiece, right?
Right. So I do think it is the actual literal worst matchup, and they're going to sit everybody this week, and I think they're going to get the Patriots in the 7-2 matchup, which I think is actually a pretty decent matchup given that the Patriots don't have a great pass rush. But now let's get to Nick Sirianni and his message to Bills fans after a win. Okay, you're laughing, Willie. What do we make of Nick Sirianni taunting Buffalo fans for cheering for Buffalo?
Well, I love it because, yeah, they didn't win pretty, but they won playoff tough in the rain in Buffalo. They put the clamps on Josh Allen, the offense, for 3 quarters, and then they found a way to win, even though the offense was nothing, didn't do anything in the second half. And when you take away Sirianni, he goes, listen, we gave you a shot. We gave you a shot at the champs. You lost. So it is what it is. I support that he has that type of swagger. He gave you a shot.
I knew you would.
You lost. The champ is here.
Yeah.
I respect
This
it.
guy loves taunting fans.
I love it.
Are we able to run that again so we can see A.J. Brown? Because this is how I felt. I mean,
rolling his eyes at his head coach.
I don't think he's running his eyes. I think he's backing him up.
You see him shake his head like this guy. Like,
that's my coach.
no, he's going to walk by and just shake his head. Like, because I get the excitement. I understand feeling good that you won the game. But how you won the game, you can't feel too great about that, especially offensively.
Well, so especially offensively, can I just repurpose this a little bit? Like, everyone is crushing the Eagles all day for going a half of football without completing a pass. Frankly, it's a reasonable point. Look at what the Eagles' defense has been since their bye.
This is another thing.
Best
shutdown.
Best in the
Super Bowl caliber.
Seriously,
Right.
Like if I say the Texans are dangerous because of their defense, and I just say the Texans are the best defense in football, Philly's like, we have something to say about
100%.
that. Right? Like they are going to make life miserable for any team they play on the defensive side of the ball. And so if Jalen Hurts can wake up and score 24 points, they should be able to beat anybody.
Well, listen, if the defense plays like that, he may not have to even score that much.
Sure, but I guess my point is like we are going to spend all week talking about what happened to the Eagles offense.
Of course.
We should probably acknowledge that the Eagles defense just shut down Josh Allen at home. Like it feels like a relevant.
We should.
point.
Well, the question is Josh Allen hurt or is he injured? There's a difference.
Fair enough, but the Eagles defense has been doing this now for a couple of months. Like we should talk about it at least as much as we do the dysfunction on offense.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.